Hey, hello all. It's been a while. Life's been busy. But I thought I'd do a little update, bring you up to speed about what's been going on. I had a really nice day down on the south coast with some like-minded idiots. Del Boy, Penny, Duke, the rest of you. It was really nice to start shaking some hands and getting to meet some people in question. And what a nice bunch of people you are. If you haven't got yourself on the forum yet, I'll stick a link down below. It's a really nice place to hang out that doesn't have the usual bullshit that you find, or that I've found on other forums. There's nobody acting like a pissed off toddler in a playground, you know. It's just people coming together because they love motorbikes, and that can only be a good thing. So, what to update on? Well, the Plasti Dip's been on the bike for a while now. And if you're asking yourself the question, should I Plasti Dip my bike? It's not for me to say, is it? But there's some things I want to make you aware of. Plasti Dip was always a bit of an experiment for me. It's not something I'd used before, and I was always a little bit dubious about its durability. I couldn't see how something that would peel off that easily could last all the beatings it'll get on a bike. So the things I've found are: Plasti Dip doesn't like to be rubbed in any way, shape or form. First bit that started to go was on the side cover on the right hand side where my leg rubs against it. The top of that started to go within a week. Took that off. The good news is it comes off really easily. But there's also bits like on the left hand side of the tank at the front where the front brake line comes down. As the bars turn, that brake line gets pushed towards the tank. Before the comments start coming in, it doesn't trap the brake line, it simply moves it as the bars turn. But of course all the little vibrations that come up through the suspension mean that that's been rubbing against the tank, and sure enough that little spot's appeared. The other thing is, don't put Plasti Dip on anything that you're going to have to move, that you're going to have to remove and put back on, that you're going to have to work on a regular basis. That console on the top of the tank there, when I was having to replace the throttle bodies, just because of the way that job worked out, I had to take that off a couple of times, and sure enough you can see around that Allen bolt there, it's not looking too tidy, so I'm going to have to sort that out. But the one that's really pissed me off is I always knew that Plasti Dip and petrol weren't going to be the best of friends, but I figured if I was careful, well, I could get away with it. And then of course I came up against that one petrol pump which decided to just belch petrol everywhere, and sure enough we've got a lovely stain on the tank now. Now if that was down to my clumsiness, then you can chalk that up to experience, but unfortunately it was just bad luck that I happened to put up against that petrol pump. So, would I use it again? I think I would, but not in the same way. I think it probably has its applications. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who've got it on bits of their bike and it's lasted really well. I think there might be an issue with the fact that I was masking. Because of the nature of Plasti Dip, if you're masking anything, you have to effectively lay down sort of 4 or 5 coats in one go. And in my book, that's not a good way to do any kind of coating, be it paint or Plasti Dip or whatever you're working with. So I think it has its applications, but I'm going to have to rethink the look of the bike. That's fine, I can do that. So there's a couple of projects that I've got coming up. The first is luggage. I've got a couple of trips in the summer where I'm going to have to carry more than I can at the moment. Now I've looked online, and I've got to be honest, couldn't really see anything that made me want to get my card out and start spending cash. There's a lot of tassels, a lot of very fancy buckles. It's fine if you like that kind of stuff, but it's just not my bag. No pun intended. And so we fall back on the good old, if you haven't got it, make it yourself. And I found this up in the loft. I bought it years ago. It's an old kit bag. And that's some pretty thick material. And I think if I split that down, I might be able to make myself a couple of bags out of that. It's going to mean I'll probably have to go on eBay and buy a job lot of belts or something for leather and buckles to strap it all up. And I'm probably going to have to wire up a sewing machine with a V8 engine, because I don't know how I'm going to get a needle through it yet. But I think that could be good. I think I'm quite like the idea of that. The other thing that I'm working on at the moment, and we'll do videos about these things, is I've been watching a lot of vlogs recently, and it seems to me there's sort of three standard mounts for the camera. There's the helmet cam, the handlebar cam, and somewhere down on the frame cam. I can't help thinking that there's more possibilities than that. I can't help thinking that some wider shots would really be nice. Because the problem with the handlebar one is you really only get kind of shoulders and head. I'd like to set the camera a bit further back. So I bought myself a cheap tripod off eBay, and I'm seeing if I can come up with a camera rig which will bolt onto the fork shrouds and hopefully the seat bolt on the indicator stems at the back. It's going to be really light, it's not going to have much weight to it, and I'm thinking it's probably not going to survive the likes of motorway speeds, but certainly for some nice A road shots and B road shots, we might get something going there. So I'll keep you up to date on that once I've got all the bits and pieces that I need. So there's lots to be getting on with. Warm weather's coming. God, is it overdue. So enjoy it. Ride safe, folks. And as soon as I've got some bags or some weird camera tripod rig set up, I'll get back to you. Take it easy.